Hello everyone and welcome back to some more F1 22 gameplay. Today we're going to be finding out what is the fastest supercar on F1 22, and the track I've chosen for this is Miami because it's got a good long straight. It's also got some tight corners and some medium and long speed corners as well. So without a doubt, let's switch from the Williams F1 car to some supercars. First up is the Aston Martin DB11 V12 as well. Now, Aston Martin's not the fastest supercars on the game. I'm going to spoil alert there, but this one is okay. Again, one thing I have learned from driving in cockpit mode is that you are the centre. You're not on the centre of the car anymore compared to if you are in cockpit mode for F1 car, or if you're used to driving as T-cam as I do for cars. Just be wary that you know, on these tighter street circuits, you might scrape a barrier or two on a practice lap, just as you get used to as well. And especially also it varies from car to car. Not all of the cars are right or left hand drive, so there's a mixture drives as well, so that's something you've got to be wary about on the opposite side corners as well. But getting close to the wall there as well, but you know, we are fortunately on the right hand side, so we're able to judge that and miss the wall. As well as we now come through into the slower speed section of this track, we'll see how well it handles these corners into the sling section, and out the other side, and then through into this corner, one of the most crucial corners. You get that wrong. A little bit slightly too much curve than I wanted there, but nevertheless that will accelerate through. We'll see how fast this car can speed up to. Will it get up to 170 miles an hour by the looks of it? Yes, 170 mile an hour on the straight, through into the final braking zone, because the final two corners, if you can call them corners here, aren't really corners. They're just well, they are corners, but you just accelerate out of them, through them. 2:12. Here we are, the Aston Martin Vantage F1 edition. Not to be confused with the safety car edition. That will be to follow as well. Losing as the tyres squeal a lot on these supercars, I found, which I don't know whether I don't particularly like that or not, to be honest, but I don't know if that's realistic or not as well. But anyway, soldiering on, we're going to try and see how fast. A little bit too much curbing there than I'd liked. This corner is doing that, and then we again curbing there, and then this corner I've learnt you have to go a little bit wider than you want to try and get the better exit. If you go wide there, then you can cut in, get the better exit out of the corner, and that sets you up for this first of the pretty much two straights, big straights, of course. I mean, this isn't really a straight, but it's the acceleration zone as well. As we accelerate through up to 161 mile an hour, which isn't fantastic compared to already, considering the fact that we'll see how it does on the back straight down to the final corner. How well can this do this through the corners, though? That's the question as well. As we go down that little bump there as well, which isn't that can probably catch a few people out if they're unaware, but Other than that, accelerate through, out the other side, and down the back straight as we pass the back of the circuit now. Accelerate up to only 164 miles an hour, I think that was. Not that great, considering the fact we got faster cars to come for the likes of Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren as well. Out of the final corner then, and up to the line for 2:12. Switching over now to the Aston Martin safety car then. So we'll see how it fares up against its non-safety car equivalent, obviously. As well, obviously Aston Martins haven't done that great, and bearing in mind it's probably not. Will this actually beat or be the same time as the normal Vantage? And is it just the fact that it's got a difference? It's got the safety car sort of logos, the lights, the thingamajiggy decal, whatever, stickering from the FIA as well on top as well. That is yet to be whether or not it will be able to match its non-safety car version time, but bearing in mind, we've got more. As I said, we've got faster cars to come as well. So, and also we pretty much know that this is now that the Mercedes have moved to their Black Series safety car as opposed to the AMG one that they had previously. That's a lot faster than this as well. So. Whether or not then Aston Martin change the safety car that they use, maybe the Valkyrie, or maybe they decide to make a one-off Valhalla. Even imagine having the Valhalla, because as you know from if you saw my Forza Horizon 5 video on that thing is alarmingly quick as well. But anyway, we've gone through to the back straight on that note, and cruising up to 150 mile an hour. Can we get to 160? Yes, but only 161 mile an hour on the straight. And this is that thing, because part of Belgium they were discussing, because do they need an actual faster safety car in periods where it's heavy wet, so the drivers can get the tyres warmed up properly. 13.6. Therefore, the Aston Martin safety car, which is the slowest of all, and Ferrari Roma. Somehow, don't ask me how. I stepped away for 5 minutes between recording the safety car one and the Ferrari Roma, and somehow we've now gone on to lap 38. I haven't done that many laps on this around Miami. So I don't know what's happened to the inconvenient in-between laps. I don't know. It's a new game. There's glitches here and there. I'm pretty sure though that was in a previous. I've seen that before though, where the lap counter breaks as well. So it's not the first time that's happened in an F1 game. But anyway, back to the Ferrari Roma. It looks actually quite nice. I've got it in red. I put the other one in yellow because Ferraris typically are red and yellow cars. As well, 162 mile an hour. It's not really as fast, though, going much faster than the 3 Aston Martins we've had so far. But through into then the tight section as well. Again, trying not to get too close to that wall, considering the fact this is a left-hand drive Ferrari as opposed to the right-hand drive Aston Martin. So the safe car was left-hand drive. there as we come out of there. Now down the back straight, and now we can open the Ferrari up and see what the Ferrari Roma can do. Whether or not it can get past up to 170, it's got past to 160, so it's faster than the safety car. There it is, 171 mile an hour in the Ferrari Roma, and that's a lot, 10 mile an hour faster than what the Aston Martin safety car managed. But up to the line, we'll have to wait and see what this is. As well, up to the line, it's not going to be any fantastic. 2 minute 11. Now we've got the other Ferrari, the F8 Tributo, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and already it's a lot faster. It's done a 2 minute 6 already, which is faster than all the cars we've seen so far in this video. And now it's going to, it's going to go even faster on this fastest lap of mine. It's got a very nice interior, I must say, as well. You know, it'd be nice if we could choose the music, but then of course, you know, I mean, they have added music, but obviously they haven't added a streamer friendly playlist. All they've got is the theme game music as well. Taking a white line here as well, perfect line. We're gaining 0.3 of a second over our previous best time now. Now we start to accelerate down this first straight. Well, this series of lefts and rights as well. Bring it over to the right, 172 mile an hour down there. So this thing is quick as well. 0.3 up on our previous best time. But will we be able to gain that? We've lost a bit of time through this bit. We're going to gain it back. Yes, we gain it back on the exit there. Through then into the sling section that's been dubbed after the Singapore sling as well. And out of this area, almost 7/10 up there, but lost a lot of time on the exit of that corner, so it's back to 6.5 up on our previous best time. As well as we now max this thing out, hopefully we'll get to the highest speed possible, 178 mile an hour, which is definitely not bad. It's not the longest straight in Formula 1, obviously, but you know, it does give us an indication of speed as well. And we'll top that up at the end of the video as well. As we come up to the line then for 2 minutes 6. This could be a 2 minute 5. It is a 2 minute 5.9. Now, the McLaren 720S, it's on a 2 minute 7, so it is there or thereabouts. It's got, again, another interior, but you know, the interior has to be nice when you're paying this amount of money for a car, you know, because these cars are not cheap. As well, as we lose a bit of time there, as well. Now, this lap, there's bit of a disclaimer about which I'll get through to, but it won't affect the its overall position, even if we had managed to combine the laps, basically managed to do our perfect sector, because this first bit haven't had a greatest bit, lost time there, lost time on the exit as well, and we're almost 0.3 down. However, we're going to make time up here because of the stupid lost time on the straight on the previous best time as well. So yes, don't get too close to that corner, otherwise the game, if you've got assists on, the game might break for you. As we're 0.5 up now on our previous best time, you know, that's how much of a difference that made. We touched the wall though, so lost a bit of time there. This isn't a good lap, I will admit, but if we had, we're going to gain time again. You know, 3/4 maybe we probably could have gained on top of this, possibly 3, because we were, you know, we've gained 5. We've probably lost 2 in the first. We've probably gained back at least something on in the first sector, over the first sector, and then also probably lost a 10th through that sector, hitting the wall there. But other than that, it's not really going to have a huge effect on its position. As I'll say, find out its position at the end of the video. 5.5 tenths up though on its previous best time. Nevertheless, is not that bad. And up to the line, it's 2 minutes 6. And here we have the McLaren Artura, which is done a 2 minutes 6 as well, but it's all about to go even faster. Can it challenge the F8, the Ferrari, in its time? I'll have to wait and see. Slightly down through the first sector again, as well. I think that both McLarens could do with a bit more downforce, personally speaking, but that's just my opinion. So I see we're going to gain time back actually through this first sector as well, and we go for the wide line. We'll lose us time on exit to the corner, but we should gain on entry to the corner. We should gain on exit. We do indeed gain on exit. Almost 4 tenths up through the first sector on our previous best time in the McLaren, and now we start to go through the gears. This car is quick. As well, 171 mile an hour, as well as we brake for the left-handers. Now we go into the tight and twisty section, as well. We've still not gained that much on our previous best time, but now can we gain through the sling section as well, which, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of anyway, but there we go. As well, we gained on the exit of the most important corner of this track. If you mess that corner up, then you're pretty much going to mess this entire straight up as well. You're vulnerable to overtakes. We'll have to wait and see for the first race there. 5 tenths up on our previous best time as we brake now for the hairpin. What technically is the third last corner, but the other two just accelerating really through as we come now up to the line. Almost 7 tenths up on our previous best time, 2:05. And now we move to the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series, which has already done a 2:05 as well. This is the non-safety car version. We'll be driving the safety car version in just a moment as well, next in the video as well. So I have to wait and see what the 3 Mercedes cars can do, whether or not they are a match for the Ferrari and McLaren pairing that are close at the top on 2:05. I mean, it has matched already 2:05, and it's all with 3 tenths up on our previous best time. So could we get into the 2:04s in this GT car? We'll have to wait and see. Losing a little bit of time on exit there, the corners. We go down this straight. It's only a fraction of time, but we did lose a bit there. Now we accelerate through 170 mile an hour on the smaller straight with the curves. We'll have to wait to see what this can do on the back straight, whether or not it has the power to match. Bearing in mind, we've already seen the Ferrari and the McLaren get up to the likes of 170, 179 mile an hour. As we come through there, lost time on the exit there, but we're going to lose time on the exit, but we're going to gain it back with the acceleration. So I think we've lost a fraction of time through that section. Down the back straight here now, What can we get up to as the corner approaches 172? So it's slower than the McLaren and Ferrari, but it seems it makes up for it through the corners. This car does as well, which is one of the big differences between F1 and road cars, is through the corners. 2051. So now we've got the actual safety car. That's done a 2061 already as well. Now, interestingly, there is a difference between this car and the and its non-safety car equivalent. Apart from the safety car stuff, it's the dashboard doesn't have a speedometer for some reason, and I don't know why. So that's missing. As well. Don't know if Bernd Mayland, or whatever his name is, has to do without a speedometer every time he drives this car in real life. I don't know as well. But anyway, we were 6/10 up on our previous dead time, so we're going to be well inside the 205s for this one, which is going to be up there with the Acura, the F8. And the Mercedes, its non-safety car equivalent. Can it beat its non-safety car equivalent? We'll have to wait and see. As we come through into the narrow and twisty section there. Almost 8/10 up on our previous best time. Lost a bit of time, gain it back. Can we have a good corner here? Try not to kick the curb too much there. What I've noticed, and you can get a good exit there. Not lost too much time, lost slightly a fraction. We're going to probably gain a little bit back on acceleration there as we come down the final corner. I think this is doing around 172. I did an on. If you go off board, not in cockpit, then it obviously does give you the speed. But I couldn't confirm that on this run, so that's just a little disclaimer there. But up to the line, almost 9/10 up to a 5.2. And the final car, another Mercedes, isn't as fast. It's done a 2-minute 12 already. So can it? It's more on the Ferrari Roma level. Can it catch the Ferrari Roma, which leads that the second half of the leaderboard, which is sort of close to getting the 2-minute 11, 2-minute 12, and the safety car, 2-minute 13 at the bottom of the leaderboard, which this is going to beat. So that means the Aston Martin safety car will be bottom. We'll look at the full leaderboard in just a moment. Slightly little drift there. So I managed to gain time. Don't ask me how I managed to do that. As well, taking the wide line here, losing time on the entry, gaining more time on the exit, which is what I like to see. As well, this car does have a speedometer as well, but none of the other dials on them mean, so that you know that it's supposed to have that G measurer. That doesn't work as well. But I have noticed if you do gear shift, the player will gear shift, which is a nice touch. But still, it'd be nice if the other part of the dials were actually movable, as opposed to just being stick-ons, basically. As well, especially in the modern age. But maybe that will be something for a future game to come. Out of the twisty and narrow section, and 5.5 up on my previous best time, so should make it to the 111s. But will this match the Ferrari Roma? That's the big question. We'll have to wait and see. 165 mile now on the back straight, so slower than the other Mercedes car. As we come out to the final corner, well, I call it the final corner, it's not really the final corner because these two are the final corners, but you're just really accelerating at this point, especially in the Mercedes car. It's 2:11.8, which isn't enough to beat the the Ferrari Roma, and it's the Mercedes AMG T Black Series and its safety car equivalent that top the leaderboard. Just to give you an idea, I've also included, as you saw, the lap in the Williams car earlier, 31.2, and also the Ferrari F1 car, which is currently at this time of recording, is the fastest car pending a patch as well, and then also the last year's Prema F2 car as well, all of which were faster than all of the F1 cars. It'd be nice to have got some classic cars to see which is faster, a supercar or a classic car. That would be nice to have a race between them. That might be something. You heard it here first as well. McLaren Artura as well. All the top three slower than the F8 Tributo and the 720S. The 720S, even if I'd have had a 7/10th improvement, still wouldn't have beat the F8 Tributo. So I don't think that would have any. Although I lost time, there was more time to be found on that lap. I don't think, looking at the leaderboard, it definitely probably wouldn't have been able to gain. There was not 7/10ths in that lap to be found. As well, but it is the fastest car on a straight line, the 720S, as well, but it does lack a bit of cornering. So yes, the Ferrari Roma and then the likes of all the Mercedes cars seem to be very good in corners, and then the Aston Martins are down at the bottom as the slowest cars of all as well. And the safety car, as I say, I don't know whether or not the safety car, because it's got whether they considered the equipment and added a little bit more weight to that, I don't know. So yes, that's where I'm going to leave it today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F1 22 gameplay as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.